I'm here with the president of IUCN, that's the International Union of Conservation of Nature, Dr. Costa. Dr. Costa, I had an opportunity to take in your session today, and I was very interested. You said that we need to move one step beyond the green economy. We need to go to a blue economy. Could you explain that?
Yes, we were looking for a name, and we could have called it Green Economy version 2, which is one way to go. But we thought we really need to bring in the idea that we live on a blue planet, and we have a system, an ecosystem, a living Earth, which is blue. So why not call the economy blue? We've been through the brown and the black and everything else, so there weren't very many colors left. And the blue economy is about how do you learn from Mother Earth, from Gaia, to do the things that we normally do in factories and in refineries and at 100 atmospheres of pressure and 1,000 degrees centigrade. How can we do all that at room temperature, ambient pressures, and essentially learn from 4 billion years of research and development that nature has done for us? We can make fuels, we can make clean water, we can make all kinds of products and services. We can make houses that learn to do air conditioning from termites and from zebras. We can make new ways of dealing with cleaning houses and cars by learning from the fact that butterflies never get dirty, and how do they learn to deal with the issues that all of us have to deal with. So in nature, if a technology didn't work, it was recalled a long time ago. We've had 4 billion years of evolution that has led to technologies that actually work in the biosphere. They don't create waste. Nature has no waste, because the waste of one kingdom of nature becomes the food of another kingdom of nature. It's possible for us in our industries to design things to be able to learn from those inspirations.
You also spoke about the root causes of where we are now and why we are where we are. And you said that you had to dig under many layers, a lot of overburden there. Would you explain a little bit to our audience about what you meant?
Actually, Sally, it's about doing successively deeper and deeper questioning. If you walk in a factory, you see a drop of oil there, you could very well ask, why is that drop of oil? And somebody will say, there's a leak up there. But then you probe deeper and you say, why is the leak over there? And you find out that somebody didn't do their job properly, and you say, well, why didn't they do their job properly? And you find out that the procurement policies of the company are such that he couldn't do the job properly. So you go on probing further and further. I think in our development mechanisms, in our economies, what we have to do is essentially keep probing till we find something we can act on and deal with. Suppose I say I've got a planet. I'm living on the planet Earth, which is now in fever. It has a problem with its temperature. It's getting hotter. Sea levels are rising. It's being messed up. Now, somebody might come along and say, well, why are we doing this? Why is it happening? And you would say, first of all, that we're consuming too many fuels and energy sources that produce carbon emissions, which go into the atmosphere and heat it up like a greenhouse. You might also say that the poor are destroying some of their ecosystems because they've got to live and they don't have any money, so they go out there and cut down the trees to cook their food and so on. Now, these are the proximate causes. They're the sort of first level of inquiry. But then you must ask, well, why are these people so poor that they don't have any fuel? Or why are these people so greedy that they are consuming so much more than they need in order to satisfy whims or ways of satisfying themselves and destroying the planet? People will say, well, the market economy is based on selling more. convincing people with advertising that they ought to have more. Then you must ask, well, why do we promote so much? Why do we believe in the market economy that does that, which is destroying the planet in a way that none of us wants? So is the market economy as it's presently designed adequate, or do we want to redesign it? We may still believe in the market economy, but we may want to modify it. Modifications becoming necessary when you see that your economies are collapsing, your banks are not working. We know that the present capitalist market system isn't perfect. There would be a person would have to be a Rip Van Winkle to come and say, no, the market economy is perfect. It's not. Why don't we change it? So you can keep digging deeper.
Keep digging deeper, exactly. You had said also, or implied, if I was interpreting you correctly, that consciousness, that it was deeper and deeper, if you dig deeper, that it's about what our value system.
It's all about value systems.
And being conscious, very conscious of our value system, and if that's solid, then act out of that place, instead of acting out of responding to advertising to make yourself feel worthy.
Exactly. Today, you and I measure our worth, self-worth, by what we possess, what we have. We've got a car, we've got 2 homes, we've got enough money to travel all over the world and go for vacations, whatever. We have a lot. As long as we value ourselves by our possessions, we're going to continue to have the problem that we're facing here of climate change, biodiversity loss, species extinction, everything else. On the other hand, for most of history, human civilization was valued, or valued itself, by what they were. How good they were, how truthful they were, how community conscious they were, how they contributed to a better world. Now, it's possible to choose a different value system today from what we have. Our value system basically is not conducive to a sustainable world.
Well, and that gets back to choice, is that the developing countries feel to make that adjustment that it's denying citizens or denying the individual of some sort of right or some sort of convenience, when actually it's a choice for the planet. So I think that's a place where we have to move into as well. The other thing is that in George Monbiot's book called Heat, he recommends that the ration for each individual on the planet, equally distributed, would be 1.3 tons of carbon emissions per person. And what it is right now, the average American is anywhere from 20, this is annual, 20 tons to 47 tons. In some of the developing countries, China, etc., it is 2.5 tons. Most of the world, not most of the world, 3 billion people, it's less than half a ton. So we need, what's been expressed here at this conference is we need a parity of how many tons of carbon are we going to express as individuals. And that goes back to your point of what are our values, what kind of choices are we going to make. Thank you very much. This is Sally Ranney, A Matter of Degree.